Merry Christmas, you beautiful people. Alright lads, welcome back to another video, and this one is the video just before Christmas, the day before Christmas, and I'm filming another video. And the only reason that I'm doing this through the month of December into the days before Christmas leading up to New Year is simply because obviously I want to upload every single day in December, and that is the main purpose behind it. But it's the last few days really of this setup. I'm going to be moving into my new place, mine and Jenny's new house. So it's really just for nostalgic purposes that I'm staying here, filming videos here in the last week of the month. It's going to be sad to leave this place, but we'll talk about that in another video, where I might get teary-eyed and really heartbroken at the fact that I'll never be able to film here again. But as I said, this is indeed another video, and this one is going to be about the games I'm going to this weekend. Now, obviously, spoke about the Dundee derby in yesterday's video, and for all that I could probably talk about that for quite a long period because I do love the fixture in itself, but not going to do that because it did have its own video yesterday. There is literally no point in rehashing everything that I would have said in that video. But what I will do, that I didn't do in yesterday's video, is give my score prediction for the game. Now, based on everything that was said in yesterday's video, based on the form of the two teams, how the two teams have performed throughout the season and not just their recent form, the players they've got at their disposal, and my overall opinion on either team, I am going to go for Dundee United 3, Dundee 1. The one goal to come from Paul McGowan perhaps, because he is indeed a baller, as we've found out due to the match attacks cards that we've picked up recently and the fact that he scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. And the 3 goals for Dundee United most likely to come from the foot of Lawrence Shankland, and perhaps one for your man, Nicky Clark. But that's it for the Dundee derby on this video. The first game I'm going to talk about is the next game I'm going to this weekend, Dunfermline versus Alloa on the Saturday. Now, we've all spoken about Alloa this season, we've all had our opinions, and especially me. Going into every game against Alloa, I've expected us to go in and win it. And at East End Park, in the last season and a half since Alloa have come into the Championship again, it's been a problem. It's been a massive problem for Dunfermline, and especially when it comes to the threat of a certain player called Alan Troughton. The guy was the top scorer at East End Park last season, and this season he's managed to help Alloa knock us out of the Tunnets Canmore Wafer Challenge Cup and scored the penalty in the 2-1 win for Alloa at the Dundee Stadium. He's certainly been a thorn in our side, put it that way. So there's one thing for certain, I will not be looking forward to seeing Alan Troughton out on that pitch at the weekend, because he always does something against us and it's always on a bad front for Dunfermline. I don't want to see him produce anything positive, but I just think it is going to happen. It's just likely. One thing that I do definitely want to see though is Dunfermline to finally come out and beat Alloa. Just come out and do it. I've sat here so many times, I can remember them in my head, sitting here and being like, come on lads, it's Alloa, come on, beat them. And then we never do. We end up drawing, or worst case scenario, losing. And it's shocking. It really is shocking, because it's the type of teams that we need to be beating. One of Alloa's wins at their stadium this season, and one of their wins in general this season, has come against Dunfermline. And another point against us at East End Park. So we've given them a bit of a lifeline, even though they're still 4 points adrift at the bottom of the league, and we've already gifted them another 4 points this season by just not being clinical enough in the games against them. They'd be 11 points adrift at the bottom of the league if we'd just managed to do our job correctly. Future Ben here, they'd actually only be 8 points adrift at the bottom of the league if you could do maths correctly, Ben. That's why you never got Nat 5 maths at school. But as I said, I'm not going to beat around the bush any longer with this one. You know what I want, I know what I want. A Dunfermline run at the weekend, and to harp back to the Dundee derby for a second, Dundee United winning the Dundee derby would do us a lot of favours as well, because if we can beat Alloa, then we will go into the promotion playoffs again at the expense of Dundee, who would have just lost the previous night against the local rivals. But that is enough about that game. Now we move on to the third game I'm going to this weekend, and it takes place on the Sunday. It's Motherwell versus Hamilton, the Lanarkshire derby. Now it's a bit of a treat on the channel because I never usually go to as many as 3 games in a footballing weekend. Don't know if I've done it before, this may be the first time or it may be the second, can't remember, but it's certainly going to be a cracker of a weekend. I'm taking in 2 derbies and 1 game which obviously is very close to my heart, that being Dunfermline versus Alloa, before anyone thinks of saying that a Dundee United game is close to my heart. But in terms of Motherwell versus Hamilton, I've got 2 guys on this video to explain a bit further about their feelings going into it and how they're feeling about their respective teams going into this game. First up is Motherwell fan Gogsy. We all know who he is, Gogsy99 out the Fir Park tunnel. Let's hear what he has to say about Motherwell going into this game.
On Sunday, it is the second Lanarkshire derby of the season. Motherwell won the reverse at New Douglas Park 3-1 back earlier on in the season, and we were too comfortable in that game. So perhaps if Hamilton want to bring their A game, let's have it. Looking ahead to the game, of course, I'm recording this on Sunday night, so the game is 7 days from now. Initial thoughts are, I think we're going to control the game. I mean, when we've played against teams that are below us this season, we have not really had too many problems. I mean, we've lost on the road quite a few times, but at home we've been solid. So I think Hamilton will struggle to get anything from the game. Well, that's what I'm hoping. So my prediction is going to be 3-1 to Motherwell. Go another 3-1. I think Aki's might actually take the lead, scare us into the game, and then we'll just kick on from there. You cannot write off Hamilton though, because there have been times in the past where we've just been too lazy or too overconfident, and Hamilton have surprised us and got something from the game when they shouldn't have. So hopefully we don't have that problem again.
Cheers for coming on, my man Gogsy. He's obviously not living as regularly up here in Scotland these days because he goes to uni down south, but he's still managing to bring in subscribers here and there, and he's over 7,000 at this point, so congrats to him. One day I'll make it as big as Gogsy. I'm coming for you, son. And now, from our Hamilton Accies perspective, we've got Ben from Only Accies TV. Now, he's got a cracking name, so give him some support.
In terms of the Hamilton Motherwell derby, it's one of those ones that I don't think Hamilton fans are very optimistic, let's say. People always say, oh, form goes out the window in a derby. I don't really think that's true. I think we played well against Hearts and got the 3 points. I think we play well against St Johnstone on Boxing Day and got another 3 points. That sets us up nicely. But the way Motherwell are going at the moment, I know they lost to Rangers, but they're picking up points. Even in games they don't play well by the sounds of it. And whenever it comes to a derby, Motherwell always seem to turn it on. I want to say that I'm optimistic for Hamilton. I want to say, I think we'll predict to win. I think it'll be a scrappy one, but I think we'll win it. That's what I'm going to do. I can see it being, let's say, 2-1. I think 2-1. I just hope Hamilton can turn it on. There were good moments of play against Hearts. It was a scrappy game. Motherwell seemed to be playing really, really well. Goal scorers all over the park, which is something Hamilton are struggling with. Hopefully, if we keep it turned on, we can actually do something against them. I think we can. I think we will. But you can't deny the great form that Motherwell's in and that Robinson's got them in, and how well they're playing. Like I said, I don't think Hamilton fans are very optimistic about it. But hopefully we can pick something up and pick up another 3 points like we do, fingers crossed, on Boxing Day against St Johnstone. My name's Ben, by the way. I run the Only Accies YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested in any Hamilton stuff or listening to any what Hamilton fans have to say after the game, I've got a few interviews planned for New Year's as well, for former players and managers and coaching staff, which should be really exciting, not just about Hamilton, but just about Scottish football in general, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thanks Ben for having me on the channel.
And cheers for coming on, Ben. Luckily, I knew a Hamilton Accies fan that was open to doing videos because Ben does his own videos. He's got his own channel called Only Accies, so go over there and hit the subscribe button. Do the same for Gogsy as well. I'll probably put graphics of the 2 boys' channels on the screen right now in case you hadn't heard of either of them. I'm assuming you'll have heard of Gogsy, and no offence to Ben, but I assume more people would have heard of Gogsy than Only Accies. So give them both a subscribe and take in some more Scottish football content, just like the stuff that's on offer on this channel for yourself when you subscribe to 1885 Ben. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Hit that subscribe button. But I am really looking forward to this weekend of football. As I said, just two good derbies within Scottish football that don't involve the big teams, and that makes it all the better. I think there's more passion involved in those games. Personally, Dundee United obviously a relatively bigger team, but it's in the Championship, it's a low league fixture, so it builds up a lot of passion in the fixture itself. And the Lanarkshire derby has its own wee kind of feelings behind it. Hamilton being the underdogs all the time in this fixture. Motherwell doing really well this season, so I hope that it's going to be a cracking game nonetheless. And the one in the middle, the one sandwiched in between Dunfermline versus Alloa, we all know what I want. I will say it no more. 3 points for Dunfermline. Do it. But aye, that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts on all 3 games that I'm going to this weekend and your score predictions for them if you fancy it. Subscribe for more of this type of content, and until the next video, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.